I am Ted Meyer in Los Angeles, California. And Mohammed, where are you?
In Egypt.
It's a pleasure to talk to you. You're now in Egypt. You were living in Maryland for a while. You're 17 and you were back in Gaza and you stepped on an explosive device and you've lost a leg and you have nerve damage in your hand. Let's talk a little bit about what it's like being, 17 and all of a sudden everything changes like that.
Like everything new now, and everything changed, and I try to adapt with that.
So for those of us in the States that don't live in your reality, it's so foreign to most Americans that as a kid you could get blown up. What was the circumstance?
Yeah. لا يعني everywhere.
هو فعلا
هو يعني في كل مكان موجود الخطر، يعني فيش مكان
هو ما كان في أي مكان
آمن.
سيف في غزة، يعني فيش أي مكان آمن في غزة.
They saying, unfortunately, this is the lively situation now in Gaza. It's like dangers everywhere. His injury is resulted from just checking his old house that's been bombed, and those type of ordnance or those types of bombs that exist everywhere. So what he's saying, the danger is literally everywhere, wherever you go in Gaza, and he gets the injury in the time of the ceasefire.
I mean, the life that you all lead is so removed from what's going on here. Everyone here has such strong opinions about every aspect of it, but they don't know your reality. So can you talk a little bit about sort of the medical care after the explosion?
Yeah, after my injury, uh, 3 months, no, 2 months, I go to Egypt. I went to Egypt, and after 6 months in the hospital in Egypt, I left to America.
Your mom can probably talk more about this, the getting the paperwork, getting the visa, getting all that organized. How difficult was all of that?
Muhammad initially he get the medical aid from the field hospital of the international Red Cross. Then he went to the because he need special care, need intensive care. He referred to the Nasser hospital. But يعني Muhammad is so lucky because he was injured during the ceasefire. So there is يعني some international medical team was in Nasser hospital who يعني treat Muhammad and deal with Muhammad, do surgeries and Muhammad also so lucky because the paper and to to get permission to leave Gaza to Egypt to get medical treatment. يعني because was during ceasefire, so it was يعني a little bit easier than during يعني the military operations. But يعني Muhammad, alhamdulillah, he was so lucky because during when we are referred to Egypt, the 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 the, the wound was infected in it was infected, so and يعني he was treated in Egypt. This infection was in a bacteria which is considered as antibiotic resistant bacteria, and so this is if Muhammad يعني stayed in Gaza without يعني it maybe it will be die. Most of death or die people or injured person die due to diminish of antibiotics, especially who are يعني went in the ICU. There is a special bacteria which is considered as يعني antibiotic resistant, and this is a lot of people are due to this infection go to the system failures and the kidney failure, and due to this you know that يعني it caused sepsis. So Muhammad so lucky because we are discovered this infection in Egypt. So they start treat Muhammad with this infection, and Alhamdulillah, after يعني we contact Heal Palestine to refer Muhammad to USA to get more يعني rehabilitation and advanced treatment.
You're probably going through something that normally only happens to older adults, seeing your friends and contemporaries die. Kids don't normally
Yeah,
think about that.
Yeah.
So maybe you could talk about what it's like to be your age and have to deal with such serious things.
You know, Muhammad was يعني soccer player
yeah.
and good swimmer. And this يعني even يعني every day during the war he was playing football. And this is يعني the first thing Muhammad said after the amputation operation. He said, Mom, I will not play soccer anymore. But no, inshallah, you will back to that's yeah, because Muhammad is love football. And the first thing after yani, the operation, he just yani, told me, Mom, they cut my leg. I will not play football anymore. I can't, but I just yani, look for him. قلت له you are very strong and Allah will يعني compensate you with a lot of يعني better thing إن شاء الله. That's
يعني يعني زمان في حاجات كنت بقدر اعملها قد بقدرش اعملها مثلا. يعني هل لقيت الحاجات بفكر بحاجات ممكن تساعدني في المستقبل.
To your question directly to the main issue that you're asking for, the answer is like a we have to adapt. When I tried to ask him, I don't think he could recall a feeling as much as he was saying, it's just there's nothing else I can do. I have to go forward, and this is our life. And his mother was explaining that we people have faith, we believe in destiny, and we believe in God. And this, I believe, that's what she's saying, that she believed that that's what helped them to be able to continue. And whatever happened, that's it. It's in the past. And he said he now in a situation where he's able to relinquish some of his old goals before the injury, and now he is trying to find something new to be able to achieve in his new situation.
Have they talked to you about getting some of these new modern prosthetics, and do you even have access to them there where you'll be able to run and play sports again?
Now no one talk to me about this, but
they يعني trained Muhammad about to run in prosthesis. He ran after 3 months of rehabilitation, and when he got after he got a new prosthesis, he went to running clinic, and he ran after 3 months. He ran after 3 months. Even يعني, all the people there are, oh, you can run. After just 10 months of the injury, you are running. You are running. It's a miracle. يعني, but because Muhammad is very determined and he have a good will to be better, and inshallah, يعني, he will be inshallah.
What have you learned through your experience as a 17-year-old going through this that could maybe help people, other kids around the world?
yeah, the thing I want to say, keep going. كنت بدي احكي يعني انه ما توقفش تخليش شيء يوقفك.
Well, his answer is simple. He's saying like just go forward. Like whatever happened to you, just think about what you are now and just go forward. And hopefully the future will be better. And I think what he's saying, this is his recipe of how you can overcome what you have, is just try to think in the future, and what happened in the past just happened. Just go forward.
When you think of before the accident, did you think you would have the strength to live through something like this?
وانا قبل الاصابه ما كنتش بفكر انه يصير لي شيء زي هيك يعني. يعني هي اجت زي صدمه هيك مره واحده يعني.
He's saying he was bewildered for the people who was around him, how they've been able to continue living after the injury when before his injury. So what he's saying, like I did not have any idea, how would they do that, and then happened to him. and he just discovered what they've been through and how maybe like overcome the situation.
Do you have any idea what you want to do with the rest of your life?
Maybe I will study to help the people, like to make good prosthetic prosthesis, and make the world better إن شاء الله.
Okay.
يعني كمان بدي أضيف معلومة لأنه هو الحمد لله تجربة محمد في الولايات المتحدة.
She's talking about the positive impact of him being in the US, the community, the organization, the society around him. She said like it impacted him personally. He a little bit changed, grow a little bit. So she think like that experience, it's impacted him like positively, more than they expected.
In what ways?
هو طبعا
Everything.
يعني
So it's more than one issue. The first thing is she thinks like the medical care was excellent. The prosthesis was also like from a company that is also like known as an excellent, as makes the excellent products. The doctor was also good. In a social matter, she said like everybody around him was supportive. They took him like in a lot of places. They introduced him to a different culture. Even they tried to show him the soccer culture in the US. They brought him some jerseys from certain teams. So overall the experience either socially or medically was really positive in his experience in the US.
Thank you so much for talking to me today. And hopefully going forward, things will be good and safe for you and the family.
أشكركم هو يعني على أنتم أعطيتوا المعلومات اللي
آه.
أعطيتها.